Thanks for everyone for tuning in. I'm really excited today. We are talking with Steve Curtin, the CEO of the Gypsy Nurse, as well as now TravCon. And I think let's just dive right into it. Steve, would you like to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Sure, Chris. And thanks for having us, and thanks for your partnership with the Gypsy Nurse and TravCon. We appreciate it. We love working with Uniti Med and yourself and the entire team. Just a little bit about myself. So I am the CEO of the Gypsy Nurse, and that would include the Gypsy Nurse platform, as well as TravCon, the largest gathering of healthcare professionals in person in the U.S. I came to the Gypsy Nurse in the CEO role. Back in 2019. So I'm going on my 5-year anniversary. Prior to that, I was in a number of leadership positions with various healthcare staffing and staffing firms. Going way back, I was one of the founders or co-founders of an online community for nurses called nursetogether.com. So that's really how I got started in healthcare and healthcare related communities. Prior to that, we won't go too far in the Wayback Machine, but prior to that, I spent a number of years in leadership positions with enterprise software companies.
I guess the first thing I'd like to know is, how did Gypsy Nurse start? What was the big
Sure.
purpose behind it?
Yeah, the Gypsy Nurse was started, Chris, back in about I'm going to say 2009, 2008, somewhere along those lines. It was started by a former travel nurse by the name of Candy Treft. And Candy was a very knowledgeable traveler and really wanted to help other travelers, other travel healthcare professionals. So she ended up creating a support Facebook group and just shared a lot of information on that. Also had a blog related to her Facebook group and created a number of articles and other support related materials for travel nurses. That essentially evolved and over the years grew. When I came in, we really built out the platform, built out a robust website, added a number of folks to the organization. And, as you mentioned earlier, TravCon became part of the Gypsy Nurse family back in 2022. So we've really expanded the platform, but the Gypsy Nurse specifically was started by a former travel nurse.
That's impressive. So TravCon, you guys took it over,
Right.
as you mentioned, with the largest healthcare travel event in the country, and probably, for all I know, probably likely the world as well.
Yes.
What was the thinking behind taking that over, and what are some things you've learned since in this last year?
I think our relationship and having TravCon become part of our family was really based around our core principle of helping healthcare travelers. Um, TravCon specifically is a 3-day event. Uh, in some respects, it's a 4-day event because of our Traveler Success Boot Camp that happens on Friday, which is on Sunday rather, but specific to new travelers. But the really TravCon itself fit perfectly into our mission, was to support healthcare travelers in their journey. So there's really 3 key elements to TravCon. The first element is education. So as an example, last year we had about 70 educational sessions provided by 50 expert speakers. You can get CE credits for the vast majority of them. In addition to that, it's just some great overall information, whether it's taxes or things to help you on your travel journey. There's just a tremendous amount of information through these sessions that is brought to the travel community. The second component is the networking component. So the ability to meet and connect with other healthcare travelers. I think one of the founders came up with kind of the tagline, "They get us," in that travel, as you well know, healthcare travel is a very unique community, very unique experiences, and bringing people together physically gives them an opportunity to connect make friends, compare notes, reconnect with old colleagues, those sorts of things. So there's that connection component that's very important. The third component would be our partnership with agencies, so such as Uniti Med, giving agencies the ability to connect in person at a conference over a period of time. So with the nature of staffing, generally speaking, there's not that much of an opportunity for the healthcare staffing organizations and the travelers to literally meet in person. You may have recruiters that meet once in a while. There may be other opportunities, but this is an opportunity to bring a very large portion of the community together. Last year we had over 2,000 attendees. Bring a very large portion of the community together and have them. Meet the agencies directly, meet the recruiters directly. As you guys well know, you had a fantastic presence there last year. It really gives the recruiters the ability to, in many cases, physically meet some of the travelers they've been working with for years and never had an opportunity to do so before, as well as meet new people and make new connections in that regard. So those sorts of components we felt was a perfect complement to our, in essence, virtual community. So the Gypsy Nurse, with our platform, we have our website, thegypsynurse.com, and we also have a very large social platform. We have well over 600,000 followers and members across our digital platforms. So, but again, it's all digital. So this is with TravCon, it's an opportunity to kind of complement the virtual and the in-person. So wonderful fit. We have a wonderful team, and again, wonderful partners like yourselves that help us to make for a great conference.
Yeah, one of the things that stuck out that you said, you kept saying the word connect,
Yeah,
and TravCon, I can at least say for us, it feels a lot like a family reunion.
yeah,
And you get to see like so many people we work with, you deal with on the phone. Maybe you get a Teams chat or a video call like this, but for the most part, it's phone. Yet you spend so much time talking to them and building that relationship, and then it's nice that once a year you do get the chance to see those people that you know, but you don't always get to put a face to a name.
yeah. No, that's a great way to put it, and I think that many of the travelers, as well as the agencies they work with, feel that way. It's a very very unique opportunity to get together and put a name with a face. And again, there's make new connections and really also hear directly from the travelers in a casual atmosphere, a social atmosphere, what's on their mind, what they're facing out there on a daily basis, how agencies and travelers can partner together for a better overall experience for both of them. So yeah, it's really unlike any other opportunity out there, and there's really no other conference like it specifically for healthcare travelers.
One of the things I want to point out is, TravCon, I feel like for a long time, really got associated with travel nursing.
Yes.
However, TravCon has a huge presence for not just nursing, but allied health professionals as well. Do you have a ballpark idea? I felt like there was a really large turnout this year. Do you have a ballpark of how many were there this year?
I do. Yeah, we actually during the registration process, a lot of people self-identify based on profession and specialties and so forth. So, believe it was approximately 30 to 35% of all the attendees last year were using the umbrella were in the allied area versus travel nursing. So that percentage actually has grown year over year. The last 2 years we've been involved with it. So it's something we're very proud of. And right, it is. I think that many people, when they think of TravCon, similar to the Gypsy Nurse, our name kind of would give that implication. But many people, when they think of TravCon, they think it's just strictly for travel nurses, and that's not the case. And again, in our case too, with the Gypsy Nurse, we are definitely have a very high percentage of healthcare of people in the allied healthcare area that are on our platform.
So going back, if I was a healthcare professional and you were trying to tell me like what would be the benefit of me joining the Gypsy Nurse community,
Mhm.
what would be your biggest reasons?
So the way we've always looked at the Gypsy Nurse platform, and I think going back to, frankly, its founding principles, is to help healthcare travelers on their career journey. So, as an example, if you are new to healthcare travel, or if you are considering healthcare travel, particularly in the nursing area, we have the Travel Nurse Guide, which is it's in a downloadable PDF format. We also have it in a web-based chapter presentation, but it's literally soup to nuts of things you need to know as somebody new or considering travel. What to basically a 101 guide to what it takes to become a traveler, and that's one of our cornerstone pieces of content. We publish articles literally on a daily basis about a variety of topics. Mental health issues, which unfortunately is a big issue within healthcare today, but we publish articles on mental health. We publish articles on taxes and how to figure out your taxes, which is always a big thing. We publish articles on, phone interviews, how to present yourself well, just a variety of topics. Traveling with pets, traveling with a family, traveling in RVs, how to find housing. I mean, there's just a wide variety of uh, informational content that we provide to the audience to help them on their journey. Again, we do a number of live events. We also have our social platform. It gives folks a chance to interact with others in the industry. There's just a whole host of content pieces that will help people, whether they're new to travel, in the middle of their career, winding down their career, seeking alternative source or alternative methods of travel, or what have you. There's just a whole host of it. So really, as I look at our platform, we are there to serve the travelers. Now, in working with organizations like yourselves, obviously we do have an employment component. So we have a job board as part of our community that folks can go in and take a look at jobs from fantastic organizations like yours to see what opportunities are out there. We also, as I said, provide other sorts of job related information. So, to the extent that they may, in fact, be maybe they're on assignment now, but they might be looking down the road for their next assignment, or they're thinking about getting into travel or whatever, those direct opportunities are also presented to them on our site. But first and foremost, we are a resource and support platform for the travel community.
Over the last couple of years, with all the, I think you said 600,000 healthcare professionals that
Yeah.
are on your platform, what are some of the biggest things you could say that you have learned from this?
Number one, an appreciation for travel healthcare professionals. I always had it, but I think I've developed it more in the last few years, particularly during the pandemic. And I won't go into all the details, but the things that we saw, the travel nurses and other healthcare travel professionals experiencing while literally on the front lines of COVID. It was heart wrenching, and I actually had the opportunity to do some live sessions and some other things, and just the the trauma that they experienced was really unimaginable. So, in terms of learning or discovering, I just discovered an extra amount of respect and appreciation for what healthcare travel professionals do. I think the other thing that I picked up, and this is really within the last few years, we did a study called "The Voice of the Travel Nurse." I think you may have seen it from our site, but we work with a research firm to interview healthcare travelers. This is back in 22 about their recent travel experience and their attitudes towards traveling. So one of the things I learned from that study that was frankly quite surprising was when you look at, and and I'll put this into nursing perspectives, but when you look at nursing, you hear a lot of negatives about nursing, people leaving the profession, people being burnt out, the frustrations, the nurse to patient ratios, and all of those sorts of things. You hear some of those frustrations, but for people that are in travel nursing, they take some of those into stride, and they really love traveling. So it was like, the way we put it was, travel nursing was in many respects an oasis within the nursing profession. Why is that? Because you do have the opportunity to go to different areas and facilities. You do have the opportunity to meet new people. You do have the opportunity on great assignments to really to make a difference, lifelong connections, those sorts of things. So it was, while there are frustrations within healthcare in general and healthcare travel, for those that were doing travel nursing, they really were happy that they were doing travel nursing. Was every assignment perfect? Of course not. But they love the fact that they were able to kind of stay within that part of nursing. Um, and I would say, probably the last thing that I have learned or observed is just, the appreciation for, um, I guess, in many respects, the personal lives of what people are experiencing. I mean, you think about travel healthcare, and you kind of think of it, well, it's just on the clinical side, but travelers, in addition to the demanding job that they also have lives themselves, and children, and you know personal challenges, and all of those sorts of things. So I think it was, for me, particularly as we look at our discussion groups on Facebook and elsewhere. I mean, we have 185,000 active members on our Facebook Travel Nurse Network group. The stories that people are talking about, it could be everything from, trying to work, and you're dealing with an elderly parent, or long distance relationships, or traveling with pets and children. They share with each other. So I think it's always important to remember that while there is kind of this business component, if you will, to the travel healthcare industry, it's also remembering that travelers have a personal side, a personal component that we always have to remember as well.
Man, those are really amazing takeaways. Um, I love the study and survey that you guys did last year, and appreciate having the large data. You're capable of putting that together, because I think it's eye opening, when you really break it down. Like you said, it's at the end of the day, we're helping medical facilities get the need and care they deserve. And a lot of times these communities are rural or areas we can't get help to.
Yeah.
But at the core of it, there is somebody that is saying, they're going to pack up their bags to go help that greater cause. And it sometimes gets lost, that person's story, and the sacrifices they're making, and what they're doing. But at the same time, like you said, you can go into work. My wife's in healthcare. You go into work full
Mm,
time in the same hospital over and over again. There's nothing wrong with it. That's great. That tenure, that ability. It's what you do outside of there, like you said, despite how hard it can be in work, and the challenges I think a lot of healthcare professionals have to face every single day that they go to
yeah.
work. What do you do with the rest of those hours to hopefully balance it, to help keep that sanity, perhaps in travel can, for sure, for some people, that could be the outlet, is those experiences and memories you're able to create all over the country,
Yeah.
versus maybe staying in the same spot all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It's really, for me, it's been an amazing experience over the past 5 years in this role. And again, I just, the appreciation that I have for healthcare travelers is just, it increases really every year, and the amazing things that these guys do. And, we talk about TravCon, getting the chance to meet some of them actually in person, and being able to spend time with them. And really, I'm amazed too at, you know, when you're talking to people that have been doing this for 5, 10, 15 years, travelers, that really is like, that just blows my mind. Like, wow, what a career journey that is, and it's obviously not for everybody. There's not. It takes a very special person to be able to do healthcare travel. The clinical component aside, which I'm not qualified for, I don't know. I don't know how people do it. It's just something. Obviously, I think that for those that have stayed in it for a while, they love it. There's something that is just special about being able to do that for the reasons that we mentioned. But man, I don't know. I don't know how they do it. It's quite a thing to be that mobile through a portion of your career.
Absolutely. Completely admirable.
Yeah.
So appreciative. I can say in my personal community, the hospital that I go to, my family's been
Yeah.
to, there's been plenty of times that the care that a family member was getting
Yeah.
was from a traveler, and had
Hmm.
we not had that traveler there, um, you know, in my own backyard, like I said, we would be having, I don't know who would take care of us, and so appreciative that people are out there doing what they do, and you guys have built such a large online community is what I really feel the Gypsy Nurse is. It's a community,
Yes.
and you carry that into, okay, what's the largest in person? So I thought TravCon is the perfect marriage. I guess kind of closing out, is there any future sites or plans you guys have in the works right now?
Oh boy, we always have plans. We're always trying to improve. I would say a couple of things. Number one, we are going to continue to expand our support of the allied healthcare community. So I definitely think you will see that coming from us in a variety of different ways: more content, more employment opportunities, more partnerships along those lines. I would say that's number one. Number two, we're exploring some very interesting partnerships with some organizations that we feel can provide some very interesting tools and resources to complement our travel community. So a little bit more on that maybe down the road, but hoping to have some announcements here in Q1 about some wonderful organizations that we're going to partner with that I think will help the travel healthcare community. I think the third thing would be, we are already working on TravCon 24. It's only January 16th, right? But as we joke internally, TravCon never sleeps. This is not just, show up 2 days before the show and we're ready to go. We literally started planning right after, the show closed this past September, and we already are working on, obviously registration is open, so we already have several hundred people already registered for next year. We're about 65% sold out on exhibitor space at this point, so we are just, running right into the new year with our plans for TravCon 24. So we are open for business, which hopefully gives people time to prepare and plan, because that's part of it. You want to try and get out there as early as you can, because with agencies and travelers and all those sorts of things, the more heads up you have, the better off you are. So we are open for business right now. I'm so excited about TravCon 24. So we've been working with the conference now for 2 years, and each year get better. And I think 2024 is going to be even better. And I can't wait to see you and the great team at Uniti Med there again for 2024. You guys had a awesome presence last year. The energy and the engagement coming from your team and yourself, Chris, and what you guys bring to the table was amazing, and we just love having you there. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited. We're all ready for 2024 again, especially right now with the weather. I can tell you right now, Las Vegas TravCon weather was very welcome.
These
So,
are
but
these are the days, Chris, that when we see each other in September, we'll be saying, you know what, we can't complain about the heat. It's much better than the cold of Omaha and Boston in January, that's for sure. But no, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be the best one yet.
yeah, it's such a fun event, as you said. Just a great time. I love seeing what all the companies do.
Yeah.
It's for everyone that I talk to and all the other agencies, it's kind of the same thing. Like it's nice getting to connect with the people that you don't always get a chance to tell them thanks in person and to hear from them face to face what it's been like, what they're going through. And but at the same time, it is an absolute well-deserved, I feel like, party as well for these healthcare workers that sacrifice so much and do so much that it's our chance to say thanks for all you do. Now it's our turn to repay a little bit of the favor. I hope they walk away not just fully educated, but also feeling really good about what they do.
Well, and I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I mentioned kind of the three different components. I think the fourth component that underscores everything else is obviously the opportunity to celebrate the travel healthcare community. And I know that the individual organizations like yourselves take the opportunity to celebrate in various events and so forth that we have either on site or off site. But in addition to that, we as an organization really try to celebrate them as well, and honor them for what they do. We have, lots of gatherings and social events within the conference. It's a beautiful venue, the Paris Hotel, as you know. And there's food and there's receptions and so forth. And then obviously we have our famous after party at Dre's nightclub, which is a not to be missed event on that Tuesday night, and really celebrate and have a lot of fun. It's an absolute blast. So we really enjoy that part of it.
Steve, I guess as we kind of wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to add or say?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me join you in this webcast. It's been great. It's always great to see you, Chris, and we've had an opportunity now to meet a few times at various industry events, and I always enjoy seeing you and members of your team. We very much appreciate Uniti Med's partnership with us. You guys have been a wonderful partner, not only on the Gypsy Nurse side, but also on the TravCon side. And just really hats off to you and your team for how you work with the travel healthcare community, how you guys represent yourselves, the relationships that you build, and again, working to support communities like ours so that we can support travelers. So just want to say thank you to you and your team, and thank you for your partnership.
I appreciate those kind of words, Steve. It's right back at you. This industry has brought me to meet a lot of great professional relationships and a lot of good friends, and so it's nice to meet so many people that really care about the work they do. Gypsy Nurse is an amazing community. To me, it's a no-brainer for anybody that's in this industry to be a part of, and that really goes for TravCon as well. I don't know why anyone in this space wouldn't want to be at that conference and be a part of it. So what you guys have built over there, all the hard work that you put into the resources is really amazing. We are very proud of our partnership, and I really appreciate you coming on here so you could give a little bit more of the story behind it.
Well, again, Chris, thank you for having me. I do appreciate it anytime. And I look forward to seeing you soon, hopefully in warmer weather, and hopefully even at some point before TravCon.
Likewise. Same, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you.